Good morning, guys. Welcome to Fishful Thinker. I'm Chad LaChance. That's Troy Coburn. This is the North Platte River in Wyoming. We're in a place we've never been before.
Never been.
Sampling some trout fishing. It is early spring. It's April. Again, we haven't been here before. We've got the spinning rods. We've got your famous jig. We'll talk about that over the course of this show. But you've seen this jig before. You're going to learn about this jig. We are going to fish for trout. We might get the fly rods out.
Yep.
We might not. Depends on how the fishing goes. If we do, we're going to streamer fish to show you how we mix and match those two things. It's going to be a great show. What do you expect out of the morning?
I expect to catch a lot of fish. We're on a great body of water. The fishing here is better than it's been in years, so that's what I expect.
That's secondhand information, guys, because we haven't been here. So we're going to get in the river right here. We're going to start fishing right here, and we'll see how it goes. So stay tuned, guys. This should be really fun.
Fishful Thinker Television is brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter. Peterson Toyota, Fort Collins, Colorado. St. Croix Rods, best rods on earth. Berkeley, catch more fish. Abu Garcia, for life. Otterbox, the great outdoors just got greater with coolers, dry duffels, and tumblers.
This area, guys, is getting absolutely pounded. There's guys up and down. We had to drive up and down to find a spot to get in the river. That's okay, because almost everybody's fly fishing, and even if a few guys we've seen with a spinning rod are working some kind of a spinner or spoon, they're retrieving something. And when you're working a little jig like this, you've got a completely different presentation than anybody else. Plus, it gives us the range. You know, we can throw halfway across this river.
As much as I like to fly fish, when I come to a new body of water, I can cover water so much faster than with this presentation and nail down a pattern so much faster.
There's what we're fishing with, guys. Two absolutely beautiful jigs. Now, what do you call these?
This is the Colorado Jig Mafia Classic Jig.
The classic Colorado Jig Mafia. Guys, look that up on Facebook if you're inclined. But these are jigs that Troy makes. He pours the head.
I do.
Paints them, ties them. Now they're all matted down there in the water, or because they're wet. But when you put these in the water, guys, they look absolutely beautiful. The whole key with this jig is let marabou do what marabou does, right?
So it has an incredible amount of action when it's wet, and you just don't have to do much to it. That's the beautiful thing about it.
And the only reason, guys, you see me lifting on it so much is to keep track of the jig, keep it from fouling, keep it from snagging on the bottom. That's really all I'm doing with it. But the jig, it really comes down to how hard do I lift it, how high do I lift it.
That's the key. You have to figure that out every day. It changes every day.
Every day, just like any other fishing, something changes like that every day. A key part of this whole deal for us, guys, is this thin braided line, whether you be Nanofil or X9. Berkeley makes an X9 braid that's new for this last year, that is fantastic for this as well. The real thin braid lets us cast this jig a long ways. If you have this jig on monofilament, nylon monofilament of any kind, you can't throw it nearly as far. You certainly can't feel it. You can't control it. Your hook sets are worse. There's a lot of reasons why the thin braid is better in the river. Also, line twist, if you got any kind of tumbling with your bait in the river, it's a really forgiving to fish with, and that's a key part of the system.
That water, it's a little chilly.
It is.
There he is.
All right, Mr. Coburn, first fish. I'll come down and help you out, bud. Okay, and I'll get your net for you there, bud. Come down and get you squared away. Mr. Troy Coburn doing what Troy Coburn does.
That's a good fish.
On the river. And yeah, we're in no hurry with this. Now, what do you have for line on here?
It's Nanofil.
How heavy?
It's an 8-pound Nanofil with a...
Oh, bow to the fish, Mr. Coburn.
with a 6-pound tippet.
All right, we're jig fishing, guys, so we'll just call it what it is, which is a leader. Come on here. A little bit of in your big fat new net, guys, and we'll hold him in the water. That's an average fish for here.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah, so again, we've been fishing the truck's right there. We've been fishing for 5 minutes. We just got a truck, got weighted up, came out here, and your little marabou jig's getting her done, and then we'll get her put back. Dude, rosy jig.
Easy release.
Good job, Mr. Troy Coburn.
Fishful Thinker Television is brought to you by Peterson Toyota, Fort Collins, Colorado. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Evinrude, spend more time on the water.
They're coming, the two that I've seen have both come up. One of them was right here on this little point, and he came up out of deep water and ran up on the bank and then turned around and went right back down. So, oh, I don't know. You would think the two that I've seen, neither one of them were giants, but both of them ran right up on the bank right here. I would have said they were running up on the bank to grab something, but.
Right.
So guys, you look right there, that is a leech, and those things are swimming. If you look in the river, those things are swimming all up and down the bank right here, right below us. When we put him back in where he got him, if you watch him, he'll string out in the water column, and then he'll just swim around right there. And that's what we're figuring out, that these trout are eating by the ton. So we're not catching them very good just yet, but I think we get those guys mimicked decent, and I think we'll be okay. That's a very high protein food source for a trout. And yeah, I think if we get those matched pretty good, we'll do all right.
Swing right in there. If you don't reel it.
And yeah, here he comes, here he comes. You can see him coming across there.
Oh!
He's gonna get it.
He didn't eat it?
No.
Holy cow.
He swam right over to it. Yeah, he swam right over to it. And guys, that jig's like 30 yards out there too, and you can see the fish dart across the current, but he didn't get it. So maybe I need to make a color change.
Yep.
Because he for sure came over and looked at it. Oh, bud, he's looking right at it. Got him. Oh, he got it, and I'm not even sure that was the same fish.
Oh no. Swing and a miss.
Oh, I get paid to connect on those, not miss them. No, that's ugly. Oh no.
Oh man.
All right, you try. We'll keep that. There's at least. Oh man, did you see his whole head just came out of the water?
That's a big fish.
All right, you try. Hey Troy, good job. Now, you got a ways to go before we land him. Now, I want to point out real quick, guys, and I'm going to talk about this while Troy's fighting on this fish, because this is probably going to take a few minutes, and I have my net right here. This is a custom-built rod that he had that's actually a 4-weight fly rod blank that he had built into a spinning rod. And then, and you got, what, 4-pound nanofill on this?
4-pound nanofill and a 4-pound leader.
And a 4-pound leader. So we're not gonna get in a hurry on this fish at all. And you're fishing a leech pattern, and we just showed the guys that these leeches are in here. So you're fishing a fly on a spinning rod.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
That's it.
And I'm just gonna tell you right now that it's working. And if anyone wants to know why we have Troy on the show, this is a fly that you tie.
Yep.
And look at that, right in the top of the snout. Show them that fly, I'll hold him in the water.
All right, I call that the 1-inch death punch. It's a sculpin / leech / minnow imitator. It's got a long piece of squirrel hide on it. And the ones I tie that I can cast on the spinning rod have a 5mm tungsten bead, which is heavy, but still not typically something you can cast on a spinning rod, except for I had this one specifically made.
All right, I'm gonna let this guy out of here real quick, and then we'll talk about that rod some more. Look at that thing, guys. That's a beautiful fish. Mr. Coburn, that is well done right there. We're gonna put her back in the water right here. Look at that.
See ya.
And we'll hold on to her.
Nice.
So, you know, in showcasing the possibilities of spinning rods and little jig-like deals, this technically would be you could throw that easy on a 6-weight.
Absolutely.
Easy on a 6-weight. And this being a 4-weight fly rod that is custom built by a mutual friend of ours named Ray Frazier, custom built this into a spinning rod for him so that you could throw these on spinning tackle, which gives you the range and the control that you don't have with spaghetti string.
Right, exactly.
So. Very slick, guys, and we've run into a tough bite today. They've been hard to catch, and the bigger jigs have been harder and harder to catch. He literally walked a half-mile back to the truck just to get this rod, and you've been fishing that for 3-4 minutes.
Right.
And already got one. It's because all those leeches we showed you, there's leeches all along the bank right here. So he wanted to downsize, make something a little bit higher in the water column, it's a little bit more free moving, and that got her done right off the bat.
Yeah.
And just for the record, we saw that fish rise, he turned around, threw to it, and boom. There you go.
Fishful Thinker Television is brought to you by Lowrance. Find, navigate, dominate. Abu Garcia for life. St. Croix Rods, best rods on earth.
All right, guys, if you look right there, there's one of the live leeches I just caught in the river, and there's the 1-inch death punch fly that Troy's tied. And you can see that when that leech strings out, and he's an active little dude, you can see that that fly and that leech are really, really similar in size. You can also see how thin this 4-pound fluorocarbon is that he's throwing this on. But I think Troy and I are both a little bit surprised at how dialed these fish are on these leeches. And once we figured that out, it's been game over.
Yeah, so we've been using jig style stuff all day, but it's been minnow imitators. And we came down here, we saw the leeches on the shoreline. You saw that fish run up on the shoreline and go back out. I went and tied on something that looked more like a leech than a minnow, and almost immediately we started getting hammered. So they're completely dialed in.
And you guys know, if you watch Fishful, thank you very much, I am not a match the hatch guy. Very often I'm like, no, we can beat the hatch with reaction bites and stuff, but I'm gonna be the first to tell you, today that did not pan out for us. This leech has been the deal. Now I'm gonna put these in the water and we'll see what this leech is gonna take off. There he went.
Leech.
Leech.
There he
Got
is.
him.
There he is.
Yeah. I love this, guys. And people think, you know, this show is never about my ego. This show is about education. When I get around a guy that's got something dialed, this is so unique that I was like, I got to see this in action. Troy's been telling me for a year, you got to see this, man. I've caught 2,500 fish doing this. Well, he's caught 2 in 3 minutes on a really tough bite. So,
really tough bite.
Yeah, really, really tough bite, guys. And I'll be dead honest, guys. I've thrown jigs, I've thrown hard plugs, I've thrown a bunch of stuff, and they aren't on them. Even Troy's fancy jigs, which we started out with, which is, you know, was the major theme of this show. But this little fly, this little 1-inch death punch, as he calls it, is fantastic. And I'm gonna go down here and get him for you. You just keep him right there, Troy. I'll bring him back. That's a beautiful bobo, dude, and he swallowed that thing. He is all over that thing, dude. Now, viewers at home that watch this show very much are nervous right now because I have a net. And,
Nice.
But I want to point out, I'm 3 for 3. Look at this thing. He looks like he's played the, you can tell there.
Yeah.
Oop, there you go,
There
buddy.
you go.
Check you later. Look at him going up the river.
Ching.
Nicely done. Now, here's the part where I steal his equipment since I don't have anything even close to like that, and I try it. So, like right here.
Yeah, you see the bottom?
Yeah.
See the green hole in front?
Yeah.
That's where he is.
Gotcha. So
And
I don't have to throw it very far out. Okay, so now I know where it is.
Was just in the net.
Okay. So now I'm gonna keep it high in
There
the
you go.
column.
And don't even turn the handle. Don't even turn it.
Yeah, no.
Just keep the rod
Got
tip up.
Got him. Look at that, dude. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Troy Coburn's got him a trick. Oh, dude. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Good Lord. This is why you fish with guys that are good. Look at the bow in this rod, guys. Hey, guys at St. Croix. Hey, St. Croix guys. I need a, is this thing, how long is this?
8 foot.
I need an 8-foot 4-weight, please.
4-weight
Just a
fly
blank,
rod.
soon as possible.
An avid
And
blank.
that's a beautiful fish.
Okay, don't reel anymore.
No, I'm not.
Nice
Nope,
and
I'm just
easy.
gonna nurse
Nice and
him.
easy. That's fish of the day right there,
That's a
buddy.
beautiful fish.
Not fish of the day yet.
No, and I'm just gonna stay tight. I'm not gonna do anything but stay tight on him. That's 4-pound test nanophyll, guys, and that's a lot of current.
And you got a lot of shock absorption in that rod.
Yeah.
An avid blank.
Yeah.
That's the perfect blank for that.
Oh, dude, I need an 8-foot 4-weight avid, big old fish just rose right behind you.
Now bring your
Yep,
rod tip this way.
I got him. Hang on. Hang on, you gotta be gentle. Hang on, hang on. There he comes right there. Look at that fish, Troy Coburn. Look at that fish. All right, guys, so we're gonna let Troy release this one, guys, and we just took a couple quick stills. Notice we've kept him in the water the whole time, dude. If you're gonna handle fish, keep him in the water. Look at that, look at that. He wasn't even tired, dude. He stayed in the net the whole time. Dude.
Fishful Thinker Television is brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter. OtterBox, the great outdoors just got greater with coolers, dry duffels, and tumblers. St. Croix Rods, best rods on earth.
Well, I guess when you hand the rod back to Mr. Coburn, you should expect nothing less than he's gonna smoke another one right here. And he's been sitting here giving me a straight lesson on how to make this work. And nothing builds confidence like watching a guy really catch them, you know? It doesn't matter who it is. Another beautiful Bobo. And he is all trying to spit your, I can't see him, he's deep. He's staying on the bottom. I don't want to stab at him with 4 pound. Come here, fish, there we go. Nice. Get him by the peduncle here and get a hold of him. Yeah, there we go, guys. Huh? Mr. Coburn, that's a beautiful fish. Yeah, at least I netted him on the first try.
You see where that fish was positioned?
Yep.
Directly in front
Right.
of that eddy,
That,
which is indicative of a feeding fish.
right.
So
Do it
anytime
again. Show us how it goes.
you see that eddy, and I heard a couple fish jump while you were talking.
Yeah.
So I think something is definitely picking
It's
up.
interesting to watch this little rod in action too. It's a completely different deal than, there you got him.
Oh, he came off.
He had that one too. Guys, I'm just gonna sit here and watch. Anytime we run into something like this where it's extremely specialized equipment, I don't even have anything like this, first of all. I need to call St. Croix and get a blank and have one of these guys made, because this is, and the other thing is, if you watch that rod, it's super forgiving.
Yeah.
4 pound nanofill ain't exactly goat rope, so you know, super forgiving to fish with as well. And that fly is so much lighter than even a 16th ounce jig that I can throw on my spinning rod.
Yeah, it's probably the equivalent to about a 1/32 ounce.
Right, so I need really a crappie rod type deal, or actually one of those Trout Series rods at St. Croix to make me fine.
Well,
too bad they're in my garage.
And when I cast this, you can see how this rod loads up.
Oh, that's crazy,
That's
dude.
what casts it.
Yeah.
Is the fact that it is a fly rod. It's built to load,
Right,
and
right.
it generates enough tip speed.
See if we can get another one. There, oh, no, it wasn't a fish, my bad. Now I got fish on the brain.
There's a pile of them right in front of this
Yeah,
big
you think?
this bump right here.
That makes me wonder about that pile that was back at the other spot we saw. If we had this working, would we have caught them? Right. Or maybe there's more leeches down here. Maybe that's why there's more bite, you know, who knows?
There he
Got
is.
him right there, dude. That's 2 in a row. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna grab your net, don't move. There you go. Unbelievable, guys. That is unbelievable.
He's taking me for a ride.
Yep, I heard your drag going on that. I'll go down here a little ways, and Troy, you can stay there if you want and just keep steering him. I don't even know where he is now.
He's gone out by that shoal again.
Oh, he's out in the middle of the current. I don't want to get too far down there because I don't want to spook the rest of the fish. Look at that rod bow, guys. That's why you having a fly rod as a spinning rod. Such a great idea, dude. Great idea. Where'd you come up with the idea for it?
Well, I came up with the idea for the fly first, and then I realized I couldn't cast it on anything except for a fly rod.
Right.
And then there came situations like when you're up in Gore Canyon and the water's high, where you have no back cast space whatsoever.
You can't
so
wade. Yeah.
You need to present the fly with something other than a fly rod. And
Oh, that's another beautiful fish, dude.
necessity is the mother of invention, right?
Yeah, but not everyone's like, I know, I'll get a fly rod and I'll turn it into a spinning rod. Look at that. Look at that.
See ya.
Guys, I don't know that we're gonna do any better than that on this show. I made 2 total casts with a rod I've never even seen before. After watching him do it a couple times, learn the nuances of the rod. It's a weird rod to cast. I'll be the first to admit that. I'm all wet, excuse me, guys. but you know, sometimes you got to go find new fish. Sometimes you got to figure out how to catch the fish in front of you. That's what you figured out. Like I said, there's a big rise right there. You know, necessity is the mother of invention, right? That's what you just said a minute ago. So adapting a fly rod blank to a spinning rod presentation, throwing it on nanofill, nobody does that, and now you see why it's working so good. The 1-inch death punch, I love the name of that thing. And so check out all of Troy Coburn stuff on Colorado Jig Mafia, the white trash fly, the classic Colorado Jig Mafia Classic, and then this 1-inch death punch. His creations, his presentations, we've learned from him over the years, and hopefully you have as well. Will you fish with us again?
Maybe.
Maybe. There you go. If we're lucky, we're gonna do that. All right, guys, thanks for taking a break from the fishing and joining us here at La Cueva del Fishful to show you some of our favorite ways to cook fish. Now, this fish we did not catch. I'm gonna be very honest with you. What I did, how I got this fish was I shot a deer and then I traded some of that venison with a buddy of mine, Mr. Jones. Thanks, Mr. Jones. This is yellowfin tuna that he caught off the southern coast of California, northern coast of Mexico. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna smoke it in the camp chef right here, and it's gonna be really, really tasty. So what has happened thus far is I made a 5% brine solution, salt and sugar and water with some peppercorns in it, and I brined these for 12 hours. Then I rinsed them completely thoroughly, and now I'm gonna pat them totally dry. So I want a pretty good coat of butter on here. First thing I'm gonna use a little Cuban barbecue seasoning. This stuff's got a lot of citrus in it. Like I said, give it a pretty good coating because this fish is strong. The other one I'm gonna use is the citrus herb seasoning. And we'll do that one on this fish over here, just to mix up the flavors a little bit. I am gonna put a little bit of black pepper on these as well. The rack in my smoker is well greased. It's humming along at 225 degrees. And so we're just gonna take all these and lay them in here. And I'm smoking over competition blend pellets, which is a mixture of several different hardwood pellets that Camp Chef comes up with. They're probably gonna need about 2, maybe 3 hours. Okay guys, so that yellowfin tuna, we believe at this point is done. It has now been in here for a little over 2.5 hours, and you can see they're cooked all the way through. They look delicious at this point. Because it is such a strong fish, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it off and wrap it and then let it just sit there. There you have it, guys. There is the 2 kinds of smoked yellowfin tuna belly right there. And I think it's gonna be delicious. We'll set that aside. It needs to rest for a little bit. I'll go ahead and wrap it up and let it do so. But if you guys want the recipe, you can get that at fishfulthinker.com. Of course, the video of it will be on our YouTube channel as well. And hopefully you've enjoyed today's show and the cooking and everything else we did on today's show. We had a good time making the show. So if you'll join the conversation on social media, we'd appreciate that at Fishful Thinker across all platforms. Otherwise, we hope you'll tune in. We'll see you next week.
Time now for today's best catch, brought to you by Berkeley.
Oh, bow to the fish, Mr. Coburn. Yeah. Dude, Rosie.
Easy release.
Berkeley, catch more fish.
Oh, there was a bite. Ooh, there was a bite. God dang it, right here in front of me. I just had one bump it. I just want to point out I got your fish on the first try in the net. Oh, did he jump off?
It came off.
Oh, that's okay, bud, that's okay. With Mr. Tim Farnsworth, and with that, I think we'll just go right there. That seems like a good spot to flash to the cooking. Oh, and with that, we're going cooking, guys. Thanks for joining us.